I look very sinister with this background, with this lighting, with this blood on my equipment. Welcome back to more Elden Ring. This is, yeah, now I don't have blood on my equipment. Now we're looking a little friendlier. Last time, we took quite a jaunt across Liurnia, going to a lot of different places. We started out here in the last year ruins, then we got teleported to, oh, excuse me, the Academy. Then we backtracked, got the map here at the Academy Gate Town. We went to the village of the Alban Orcs and did the stuff with Nefeli there. Then we went along this western coast here, did some of the stuff along there. We didn't go up to the four belfries. I was going to say the foot of the four belfries, and I got distracted. But now we are here at the northern Liurnia lake shore. And I think what we're gonna do this time is actually head back to the last year ruins and take on the eastern portion of Liurnia this time. Which again we could have done last time, but I like having the entire map of Liurnia. I don't know why, just like I like seeing all of what I need to do, kind of. But as we head to the east here, we are first going to come across these ruins. These are... They don't want to tell us. Okay, there we go. Purified ruins. You probably saw Hyetta back there, but we're going to ignore her for now. Even though we do have a Shabriri grape we could give her because we got the one from Edgar. There's actually another one close by that we could also give. Wow, okay. Just chill out. Nice. I thought I had timed that so perfectly. Okay, but yeah, over here in this section of the ruins with these banners up, Lucarian banners, I guess, there are these soldiers here, which can be dispatched, not too difficult. Dead random guy there, I guess. You have a horn. You're not gonna blow it, I guess. That's fine. Alright, under this little hidden passageway here, there is this area. Open this up. I got another Shabriri grape there. And the Two Fingers heirloom. I think that increases faith. Yeah. Fingers cannot speak, yet these were eloquent. Persistently did they wriggle, spelling out mysteries in the air. Thus did we gain the words of our faith. Yeah, so if you want more faith, I might equip that later in the game. Right now, though, I think I prefer to keep my... Well, actually, it's the Blessed Dew. So maybe, yeah, maybe I'll change that out for this. Oh, it's a 5 increase in faith. Yeah, I'm gonna take that. That could be a big increase in the damage we do. What's this guy say? Come out, one and all, from the darkness underground, and let us offer unto the maiden our eyes. Yeah, it's another one that is relating to... He's probably trying to clue you in on the fact that it's actually the Shabriri grape is underground there, but you can give her more eyes here.
Would you donate any Shabriri on a pilgrim when I eat one of those grapes?
Yeah. We got you, girl.
You're not like the others who give me grapes, are you? They rest their trembling hands upon me. Howling wordlessly, they gently stroke my eyes. Their frail fingers, emaciated. Yet still, they give me the grapes. But you seem somehow firmer.
What's that supposed to mean?
You are most kind indeed. May the blessing of the fingers be upon you.
Okay, well, whatever you say, lady. Okay, that's a big scary lobster that I don't want to fight. So let's continue on here. So yeah, there's the archery there. It's a nice image there with the moon there too. The moon is gonna be important pretty soon. Whoa. I actually don't know where this leads. Oh, does this... this might take us... Okay, well, that was a waste of time. I thought it would take us somewhere else. Give me 1 second to get back there. Okay, we're gonna ignore that portal this time. And we're gonna continue on here because there's a site of grace right here. So obviously at this point we're at a bit of a crossroads. We can head up that way, we can head down that way, we can head up that way, or we can head back this way. I'm gonna head up this way first, because it will result in a dead end, as you could probably tell if you were looking at the map before, or if you know this game. Whoops. Overestimated the length of my weapon there. Some dudes here. Not too worried about these dudes. Stormhawk feathers. I don't know, we might not have had those before. But either way, I got some marionette soldiers here. None too difficult. Oh, we got their spear. That's interesting. Oh, that's not great. No, it's not good. We're fine. Die. Okay. Don't want to leave those guys active for too long, because they'll start to freak the fuck out. Another site of grace over here. Enemy. What are y'all talking about? Oh, those guys maybe? They're fine. I'm not too worried. Oh, I guess I could level probably, but oh well. I'm not too worried. In before I die. Alright, nobles. Always gotta kill the nobles, right? They'll come back. What's death when you can't die, you know? Alright. More of these guys. Don't blow that horn. I'm gonna be like Theon. I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna kill that fucking horn blower. Remember Game of Thrones when it was good? They recently announced that House of the Dragon... This is relevant because George R.R. Martin wrote House of the Dragon. Did he? I don't know. He was involved in it. And he also wrote the part of this game, so this is relevant. But House of the Dragon Season 2. I really liked House of the Dragon. I was very surprised because I went into that show with basically no expectations because of how Game of Thrones ended. And I was very pleasantly surprised. If you have access to HBO, I would recommend checking out House of the Dragon Season 1. It's very well acted. Very well done overall. I think I would give it an 8 or 9 out of 10, probably closer to an 8. But regardless, there was news recently that Season 2 is only going to have 8 episodes instead of 10, which they say is because of storytelling reasons instead of budgetary reasons, which I think is possibly maybe what happened with the end of Thrones. I'm just killing enemies here. We got the tree spear. Rambling. Let's see if I can check. Where is it? There it is. Wielded by knights employed as palace guards. And okay, so a lot of the. Oh, speaking of which, we could probably go back and fight that guy. It's great. Okay, cool. So that's wielded by the tree sentinels. And speaking of which, I think we're gonna go back and fight the tree sentinel that we found at the beginning of the game. But anyways, just to wrap up my thoughts. House of the Dragon, good. I'm not that worried about the lack of episodes because I trust the writers, weirdly enough, in this show. But that's like the Gotta, okay. I don't know, I never, I take that back. I don't trust any writers, but, uh, regardless, I have more faith in where this show is going because it's not got, a ton of, like, I think the big problem with Thrones is that they ran out of books. Because once D&D started doing their fucking bullshit on the story, it got out of hand. But I think because George is involved, oh, we got another weapon here. I think it'll be uh, better. Who is moaning? Wielded, weighty halberd, rather. Forged of gold, wielded by the Order of Tree Sentinels, heavily equipped knights. Masterfully crafted weapon that lives up to its heft, but is difficult for one of mere human strength to wield. Interesting. Who is fucking moaning? Oh wait, yeah, it must be these guys. That happened in the last episode where I was like, who is or not the last episode, but 2 episodes ago. Like, who is moaning? It's these guys. I didn't realize they were still alive. Damn. Okay. Um. Anyways, now that I dealt with that and I talked about House of the Dragon, let's head back to the Liurnia Highway North. Alright, apologies for that. This is actually a new day because I'm lame. And I was like, oh, I can record 2 episodes of Elden Ring back to back. Oh god, my voice is bad too. This is a day where I'm not gonna say I recorded anything else, but I was mad and I was yelling. I'll just leave it at that because I'm big nerd. Okay, so this guy is a lot like the other trolls that we've fought at this point, but he is loyal. Well, all of these guys are puppets. We'll learn more about the puppets. Oh, good. I love being able to hit the enemy that I'm attacking. Um, yeah, we'll learn more about the puppets later in the game. They're not they're not a pleasant subject, if I'm being honest. But this guy, more than likely, well, actually, I don't know. We just got a sword, so maybe we can read this. Weapon of the trolls in service to the royal family of Karya, called into service when the queen invoked an oath they swore. The trolls are treated as true knights of Karya and fight arm in arm with their human comrades. Um, that's kind of interesting. So I guess this is meant to mean that they voluntarily signed up potentially to be puppets. I don't know that they necessarily knew that they were going to be puppets, but they signed up to serve Karya, and Karya is uh, they like their puppets. All right, so cleared this area out, because it is, well, it's late night. I imagine he'll steal. Yep, there he is. This is another. Okay, immediately dead. All right. Okay, I'm just gonna go right through his legs there, cause I'm not gonna try and mess with all of those enemies again. But obviously there was a Knight's Cavalry here, but when you respawn, you always spawn. I can't pull up my map right now, but I guess you spawn during the day. What does this guy have to say? Ray Lucaria, hallowed hall dedicated to the study of magic. Why shut your doors to me? Am I barred from donning the crown of stone? Crown of stone is, I mean, it's more than a crown, really, but whatever. There is a site of grace here that I'm going to pick up before we progress. If we look at the map, you can see that there's or rather there was a bridge that looks like it led into, it actually looks like it leads to where we met the finger reader crone in the last episode. But obviously the bridge is is out of service anymore. However, one of our friends is here. It's Hyetta, so we can talk to her.
Would you donate any sugary grapes in your possession to me? I'm on a pilgrimage in search of the distant
I
light.
think we've heard all this
And when I
before,
eat one
but
of those grapes, I can feel the light in the back of my eyes.
that might have been new. Alright.
Many thanks to you. Now I can feel the distant light once more. That aside, I wonder what sugary grapes really are. Delectably tender and sweet, yet searing. What a sight they must be to behold.
Unfortunately, if you want to progress Hyatta's quest line, you have no choice but to tell her the truth here. They're human eyes.
No. That's not possible. Not all of those people. Their own. So those noises I heard were. Sorry. I'm alright now. Don't mind me.
Got some nice, almost vomiting ASMR there.
I apologize. You only did as I asked. I'll be fine. Think no more of it.
Well, I'm sure she'll be fine. Let's walk away. It's these little details in this game that I love. Like you only hear the vomit sounds when you walk away there. Like she's holding it. I don't know. It's nice.
I'll be fine.
Okay. She doesn't talk to us yet until we sit at the side of Grace here. But I believe she has new dialogue when we do that. Before she moves to a new location.
Is that you over there? I've gleaned something very important indeed, thanks to you. The reason why it was eyes I had to eat. The distant light is far and frail, so faint it can't be seen by the naked eye. But with everyone's eyes together, it appears. Finally, it all makes sense. I'm certain now. I will be a finger maiden. I've gleaned something very uncertain.
All right. Well, that's all we can do with her for now. But she has seen the truth, as it were. I'm going to pass time here until nightfall because we are going to fight that Knight's Cavalry. Now that we're on more even footing. I've got my health back and all that. How many health? Okay, we're doing well. Alright, I can't really remember what this guy gives, but we'll see, I guess. Part of the excitement of fighting the boss. Wah! Could see that coming for a mile away. I just couldn't do anything about it. Yikes. No, please. Alright, alright, alright. You do have to be a little careful. I'm probably gonna accidentally do it anyways. There's actually an enemy bear that it might be in your best interest to take out this enemy bear before you try and fight the Knight's Cavalry here. But it's closer towards the back there. If you were facing away from the bonfire, it is on your right, I believe. Can't do my little clappy thing that my aunt always does when we're in the car. Alright. Holy blade, yeah. Jesus, smite you, ow. I thought my command queued, but it didn't. Alright, there we go. Ice Spear. Okay, I'm guessing that's an elemental thing there. Ash of War. Skill of the warriors who served Lunar Princess Rani. Spin armament to release cold magic, then channel it into a piercing spear of ice. Only usable on pole arms. That's kind of interesting. Okay, well, whatever. With that, we kind of reached a dead end there. So, what I'm actually gonna do now is avoid fighting the troll man there. Instead, we're gonna head up this cliff. There are a lot of these towers. I kind of get them confused as to which is which. Okay, more puppets here. Really not too worried about them, except that one that I killed first there, because you can cast spells at me, and that's kind of annoying. Ow! Alright, speaking of casting spells, let's deal with this guy. Highway Lookout Tower. We've dealt with a lot of these towers before. Ooh, here's the chest. A Glintstone Craftsman Cook's... Glintstone Craftsman's Cookbook 3. I can speak properly. Who's up here? Okay. It's one of these guys. So when they talk about the Crown of Stone, they're literally talking about these. They're like, we'll actually get one of these later because I know where one of them is. But they're talking about these helmets. I think helmet is better than crown here. These like helmets with these the stone helmets with these crystal tops on them. They're signifiers of the Ray Lucaria students. We also got the, what was it, carrying glint blade staff. Gifted to enchanted knights. Enhances glint blade sorceries. Not a lot of lore there. Slore. Ah yes, my favorite part of these games is all of the slore there is to figure out. Don't hit me. Yeah, I guess there's not a lot there, but there is that if you're running an intelligence build, I guess. And I actually think that a lot of the carrion, or whatever it is, the glint blade sorceries, sorry, I'm still nasally tonight. Should have taken like a Zycam or something to clear out my nose, but it's whatever. Who cares? Who cares? On a microphone this shitty, nobody can really tell, right? More wolves. Flesh and bone. Fresh and... Okay, I can't speak. It should be obvious now at this point that I can't speak properly. These guys are tougher wolves. I don't know why I'm bothering fighting them. I also have a lot of runes, so I should probably deal with that. You know what I don't have a lot of is stamina and also health. Ah! I can't tell what's going on. Ooh. Stop it. Okay. Continuing on. I thought those headstones there were graves. Alright, this is kind of interesting. I'm not going to stop to fight this guy because it's... Oh, okay, I thought he knocked my horse out. There. That crab actually is, it's kind of interesting. Maybe I'll try and, maybe I will try and fight it. You know what? Let me do the safe thing and actually go get oh no, there isn't anything over here. There's a site of grace over here, so never mind. This crab is actually infected by deathroot, and you can see it in a lot of its, it's better if you can see the back of it, which I unfortunately killed, and you can't really see it there, but, you can see the, face of Godwin, which is associated with deathroot in this game. And it makes sense because you might have seen there is a mariner. He's in the back. No? He's somewhere around here. And obviously we can summon D here. which I don't need to do because mariners are not very tough, as we have figured out, but I like doing it because, again, I like doing it when I can. We got the notification that the Beast Eye quivers. We got the Beast Eye from Garunk, and it's basically a notification that Deathroot is nearby because Durunk wants to eat Garunk, not Durunk. Garunk wants to eat Deathroot, if you remember. So after this, we could actually go pay him a visit if we wanted to. And he just killed all his friends. Take out this guy at least. At least. Alright, I'll heal, I guess. Uh-oh. You know, sometimes there are just those attacks that you see coming, and you're just like, whatever. Also, I can't avoid it. Alright, there he goes. Oh yeah, D uses the same Sacred Blade thing. I guess that makes sense, because wait, I didn't buy it from him, though. Well, whatever. The Skeletal Bandit ashes, they are actually pretty good. I think I might replace my wolves with them. Because this, similar to the Skeletal Militiamen, it summons a Skeletal Warrior, obviously. And they carry the same effect that they do when we fight them, where if you need to, in order to properly kill them, you need to hit their corpse after you drain their health bar. So I think I'm actually going to replace that, although, Lutel is nice, she costs a lot, and personally I don't think Lutel is worth the amount of FP she costs. So I think, yeah, the Skeletal Militiaman there, or not the Militiaman, the Warrior. Resurrection Painting. Let me see here. Painter said to capture, yeah, I think they all say that, yeah. Well, that looks like it is, I wish you could see it more close up. Some sort of graveyard looking at Ray Lucaria with a minor Erd tree in the background. There is also a Site of Grace here. And I'm going to take this time to level up because I have a ton of runes. 1, 2, 3. I've got 3 levels. Alright, we're doing a lot of faith on this build. Though it wouldn't hurt to have more mind or endurance, really. Yeah. Kinda sucks, but gotta do it. Okay, so there isn't a ton left over here. This guy, though, is actually of particular interest, because if you kill him... Ow. Ooh, he killed me! Wow, my runes spawned way back there, which tells you how fast he kicked my ass. This time it'll go way better, right? Actually, it might have been a mistake to put holy damage on here. He might resist it, because he actually is a proprietor of lightning incantations. Sorry, that's what they're called in this game. That is a deceitful little incantation there. That makes you... well, he can actually do damage with that attack, but there's also a lightning spell that comes after it if you're out of range. Once you kill him, though, you get the Dragon Cult Prayer Book, which I'm definitely going to take the time to read, because it will probably... I'm not going to get the... oh, yeah, we also got this Academy Scroll. Doesn't really say much about it, though. Prayer Book of the Capital's Ancient Dragon Cult. A text of the Knight's faith that arose after the War of the Ancient Dragons. We'll learn more about that. Well, yeah, I guess we will. Just like with everything in this game, we'll learn more about it later. Oh, that is a skull. Okay. I'm obsessed with finding these skulls. Yeah, the War of the Ancient Dragons. I mean, there is more that goes into it. Um, Most of what I know comes from the landscape, though, because in we were actually in there in Lanedale, the capital of the Golden Order, I guess. There is a giant dragon corpse that is kind of crashed there. That is the corpse of Grandsax. Again, it's like it's like the characters that are related all have similar names. That's why there's like Godfrey and Godric and Godwin and Mikola and Melania and America and all that. Um, but oh God, who was I talking about? I can't even remember. Well, let's head down these cliffs. That's really, oh my God, embarrassing. Um, there are these kind of sideways gravestones here. Uh, oh, Grand Sax, the dragons is what I was talking about. Yeah, a lot of the dragons have Sax in their names. Grand Sax is the dragon that is the corpse that is in Lanedale, which is the capital of the Golden Order. But we're not quite there yet, so why don't we talk about this area? This is Jarburg. Um, this is where there are a lot of these sentient warrior jars. But unlike the ones well, most of the ones we've encountered so far, these are friendly. Most of them don't talk. They just kind of chill out here, which is nice. Um, Definitely, probably where I would want to hang out if I were in Elden Ring. One of the many locations, but there's this guy too.
What are you doing here? I didn't think anyone knew about this place. Except us jars. Ah. Are you going to be the new potentate?
It's not really clear what the potentate is, but essentially what this little jar friend is asking is if you're gonna be the next like ground up warrior. Well, I think the potentate first is a protector of the jars, and then they get ground up and put in all the jars. Um, yeah, I'll be a potentate. Why not?
Truly. That's wonderful news. It's not easy being potentate, though. I know. Show me your hands. It's just a little test, cuz. To see if you've got the right stuff.
Okay.
Your skin isn't so smooth, is it? You need slick, slidey hands to keep
Yeah, I live at
everything
high
together.
elevation, so it gets pretty
Nice and
dry up
organized.
here. I admit I
Don't
probably
think
need
you've
to
got
use more
what it
lotion.
takes. What a shame.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Don't look so glum, cuz. We can still chat. Potentate or not. Come back and visit me. When you can.
Okay. That friend's name is God, I should look up how to say this. I'm gonna do it real quick. Where's my phone?
Baron.
Bairn.
Baron.
Bairn. Bairn is a Northern English Scottish. Bairn is a Northern English, Scottish English, and Scots term for a child. Well, that makes sense. So that character's name is Jar Bairn, which I guess makes sense now because it's like a little jar child. So if we head back to them, I'm not really sure who they're supposed to be. But it doesn't really matter because they're a jar, a living jar anyway, so probably doesn't really matter the gender.
Oh, hello again, cuz.
They're cute though,
And
they
how
talk
are you
nice.
doing?
Hello
Got
again,
tidings for
cuz.
you, cuz. Have you noticed the rare flowers growing in this village? I asked the villagers if you could pick some of them, and they said you'd be very welcome.
Well, that's sweet.
Go on, Kaz. You really should pick some of our flowers. Who knows? They might be of some use.
Yeah, so a lot of the flowers in this village, a lot of the flowers in this village are useful in crafting, um, which I've already kind of said my piece on, but I don't do a ton of crafting in this game. Usually about 0 per build, but regardless, there are a lot of flowers here, and it's kind of a nice gesture because this place does have a lot of rare flowers growing in one place. You might find a decent amount of these flowers growing in other places, but it's not in very many other places that you'll find a concentration of this many types of flowers. And yeah, you can kind of see this going along here. More friendly jars, just kind of chilling, vibing, living their best lives. Um, yeah, I don't really, again, I don't really know why I am picking all of these flowers, given that I don't really do that much crafting, but there might be some lore with the cracked pots. Oh, are they just tools? No. Where are they? Oh, they're key items. Container required for crafting cracked pot items. Material and magic sealed within deploy their effects when the pot is started. Okay, well, that's interesting that they're in key items and not crafting. Anyways, um, there is a little bit of I don't know if you want to say environmental storytelling here, but we can find a cracked pot here and a living jar shard. If we read uh, the description of the living jar shard, it says such fragments command a high price due to their magical power locked within. This leaves the living jar as an unfortunate target for poachers. So given that this is found on a corpse, I think that's Mm, I, I mean, maybe imply that it's supposed to be a poacher. Maybe just, maybe not even a poacher, but somebody who just thought that they could maybe get some runes from trying to kill these guys. So we actually encountered an enemy that we actually encountered an enemy that sort of I don't know if you want to say it like embodied that. They represented the the uh, the sort of lengths that people will go to to find a piece of a living jar or to get these cracked jars. There are these depraved perfumers. The perfumers are a group of people that used a lot of like the flowers and stuff to make I don't know if you want to say like spices, but like perfumes, I guess is what you should call them. Um, but they're special powders that have different effects. This guy we encountered in the village of the Albanarix, and they talk about this heresy inclined these heresy inclined perfumers imbibe their own spices to alter their body and mind. Um, so these are likely among those that would be willing to hunt these living jars. And I'm not gonna say that I haven't attacked these guys before, but these ones are peaceful. The ones I attacked were attacking me. So, anyways,
Ah, hello again. Say, Cuz, have you met Uncle Alexander?
I have.
He used to live here with us, but then he left to be a champion. I asked to go with him, but he said, the path of champions must be trod alone. So heroic, right? I miss him, though. If you see him, You should ask him to teach you how to fight, cuz. He's big and tough and strong.
I don't know. Alexander is a very bittersweet character, and that's very reflective even in the dialogue that we don't hear, but the dialogue that he tells to other characters.
Uncle Alexander said he won't be back again. My home is of the past, and the past, as they say, is a different country. I suppose that's part of being a warrior, isn't it? So, please don't tell anyone, cuz. But I'm actually a warrior jar as well. One day, I'll be just like Uncle Alexander. Then I'll have to leave the village to become a champion.
Alright. I want to say, once we rest here, this will be the last. It's kind of awkward, but you do have to rest in order to get Jarbairn to give you new dialogue. But
Uncle Alexander, my
okay,
home is
just saying the same thing again now. All right. Well, let's see. So we went up this way. We fought the Knights Cavalry this way. We went down here earlier in the episode, and then we went. This is where the Mariner was. Then we went past there. This is, I think, where the crab was. No, no. This is where the crab was. This is where the Mariner was. But regardless, there's still a lot more of Liurnia to explore. And I'm definitely not ending this episode yet. I'm trying to think of where to head next, though. I guess we could hit up a lot of these remaining areas that I haven't been to yet. Wow, that is just really bad. A lot of these areas are important. We kind of went along the left side here in in the last episode. Oh, you know what? There's actually somewhere we should go before the rest of that. What? Actually, we might not have been there yet. Okay, wait. Oh well. All right. Well, let's head to the Laskyar ruins here. And we'll get going from there because I'm not sure if we've actually had this dialogue from Gideon yet, but actually we probably haven't. Maybe we should head to the round table hold real quick in order to get a little context for what's gonna happen next. Uh-oh. Yeah, okay, so we definitely haven't yet. So this looks a little different than what we're used to. And what this means is that we're getting attacked by Ensha of the Royal Remains here. This guy might look a little familiar, even though he's cloaked in red here. This is the guy that was standing outside of the room over on the left here in the round table that didn't say anything, but that gave us that one emote. Uh, After you take down the Omen Killer in the village of the Albanarix, he will turn aggro and start attacking you. He gave us the Clinging Bone, which is a fist weapon, I believe. Yeah, there it is. Fitted by placing one's hand into the fist grips until they dig in. O clinging creature, a king's relinquishes. Jesus Christ. O clinging creature, a king relinquishes not the hand. Interesting. Um, and if we head over here, we can find his armor. The Royal Remains stuff, which is kind of cool. It's pretty heavy, but if you're looking to look like a skeleton, it's kind of cool. It is said that the bones belong to an ancient lord, the soulless king, the lord and the lost, the lord of the lost and desperate, who is known as Ensha. So maybe Ensha that maybe he was. I mean, I feel like it's more likely that the guy that we know as Ensha of the royal remains, because this just says worn by the unspeaking adherent of Sir Gideon Ofnir the All-Knowing, but or Sir Gideon the All-Knowing, but regardless, um, I feel like it's more likely this armor was just picked up by somebody, maybe even the somebody who was wearing it, um, maybe even killed Ensha and just kind of took the name. Um, but I feel like it's unlikely that this guy. It is said that the bones belong to an ancient lord, the Soulless King, the lord of the lost and desperate, who is known as Ensha. I mean, maybe it's possible, but again, we don't really know whether it was the original Ensha and maybe he just was like, screw it, I'm partnering with Gideon, or maybe it's a different guy who just said maybe he killed the original Ensha and just took up the name because royal remains. It's like, oh, I don't know, living on in death, because that's kind of a theme in this game. Anyways, if we talk to Gideon about it, and we talk to him about Ensha, I guess they do refer to him as Ensha, but
Ensha got rather ahead of himself, it seems. As his master, I'd like to express my
interesting
regret.
then. I don't know.
Now, Ensha is slain and
Lots of
gone,
implications, nothing concrete, as far
forevermore.
as I'm concerned.
Ah, yes. By way of apology, allow me to tender some advice in regard to the half of the secret medallion you possess. Find the Albinoric woman. She hides in a cave to the west of the Laskia ruins, which jut from the mist-shrouded lake of Liurnia. She knows the location of the medallion's counterpart, I'm sure.
Alright, so essentially what he's talking about, Gideon is kind of I don't want to say cult leader, but he's an organization leader. Um, yeah, that's putting it friendly, but regardless, he's part of this group that is trying to basically get as close as they can to becoming Elden Lord. And Ensha was originally part of that noob. I mean, they kind of have this facade of being knowledge seekers. That's why he's the all-knowing. Um, but so obviously they aren't all extremely loyal to him because Ensha just kind of acted out and did his own thing. But regardless,
Have mercy and grant me forgiveness. The road is yet long, God is not easily felled. But one day without fail you will have your wish. So please grant me forgiveness, Queen America.
interesting that he seems to be praying to Queen Marika about killing a god.
You, is it? I didn't notice you there. I'll be doing my job, same as ever. Just lay out your arms.
What about your prayer?
Those words were not meant for you. I may be prisoner to you, tarnished lot, but my prayers are mine, and mine alone. Well, I've had my say. I'll be more careful too.
So it's interesting because his whole shtick is he wants to be able to craft a weapon that is capable of killing a god, and he's praying to Marika there. So the implication is kind of that Marika put him up to the task. Probably before she broke the Elden Ring, she realized that something was going to happen to her as punishment, and she wanted somebody kind of to be able to guide a tarnished to have a weapon in order to be able to kill a god. At least that's my kind of interpretation of his events. You'll notice that he actually is a misbegotten, um, similar to the creatures that we found in Stormvale, and all over the Weeping Peninsula to the south of Limgrave. He's got this sort of the shit that makes me really uncomfortable, the stuff growing on him, like the barnacles, the barnacle-looking things and the horn-looking things. So he actually is misbegotten, but he seems to be channeling potentially maybe the rage that the misbegotten feel towards killing a god. Um, so, anyways, we can also ask him about Roderica.
I spoke with the girl. She has a gift for spirit tuning, so I told her everything I know. I'm indebted to a spirit tuner I met long ago. It was all I could do to honor her. I'm sorry I doubted you.
It's okay, buddy. I do have enough to increase my sword there, so I might as well. We can talk to Roderica as well.
Are you here for spirit tuning?
Maybe? Yeah. Sure, I'll increase my bandit ashes there. I'm curious. I might need to cut here because I might be wrong. But there's some dialogue that is between both this guy Rogier and Fia in the other room um, that I'm not quite sure about how to access. So let me check this real quick.
Always good to see you, son.
Okay, he doesn't have anything.
I am. Would you like me now? You are so very warm. My dear, have you ever heard of Black Knife Prince? Dear Roger likes to talk of them when abed, and the ancient plot in which the first of the demigods was slain. The black knives wielded by the assassins who committed the act, along with the impressions they made, somehow hide the truth of the conspiracy. These grand affairs are hardly my forte, but dear Roger began to weep as he spoke. In truth, I've heard tell from someone else about the Black Knife Prince that fascinate dear Roger so. But it wouldn't be right to give this to him, stuck as he is in the round table hole. Perhaps you could make use of it?
So similar to the map that we found outside of the southern gate of Ray Lucaria, we're given a simple map here. I also like to take off my helmet whenever I talk to Fia. It's lame, but whatever. So we're given a simple map, which is basically a little clue if you recognize the area on the map that you can go to. In this case, this area that they're talking about is actually, I can show it to you. I'm not sure that we're going to go there exactly in this episode, but they're referring to, so this is the minor Erdtree that's on the map, and if we follow this little place here, there's a catacomb at the end of this path, which is where the black knife, the black knife print that both Rogier and Fia are interested in. I don't know, maybe Rogier has something to say now that I've talked to Fia again?
Oh,
Nope, okay. Well, he will once we get that, but for now, yeah, we're gonna focus on doing what Gideon said, and we're gonna try and find the Alpinaric woman. Alright, so even though... Alright, so even though it's marked 5 on my pins here, it's actually going to be the first place that we come. And there's a demi-human chieftain here. Ooh, gotcha. Have I been here already? I may have been. No. Yeah, it's just a little minor island. Some demi-humans, some crafting materials and such, but not a whole lot else here. Sup, screamy guys. Demi-humans always are like, I always think you get them all, and then there's always like 3 more that pop out. It's like I was just waiting. Alright. Regardless now, we are going to head... We were told that the ruins that we're looking for are to the west of the last year ruins. And I believe that they are, though I always seem to fuck up finding exactly where they are. Oh shit, okay, well I found them. So here's the cave, the Lakeside Crystal Cave. This is the area where, rather that Sir Gideon Ofnir, I don't know why I refer to him like that, but that he was referring to. There is someone in this cave that we need to find. And we can do that. Ah! That guy is also demi-human. There are a lot of demi-humans in this cave, but if he jumps on you, he'll do a fair amount of damage. So I wouldn't recommend letting him do that. Die. Hefty beast bone. Let's see here. No. Okay. Alright. After a certain point, the main enemy of this cave shifts from being demi-human. Oh, well. Still got a couple demi-humans in here. Die. Dodge. Ah. You either dodge and make dead, or you dodge and die. That's from software games. What's in the chest? What's in the box? Spear talisman. Ah, let's read the lore on that. Spears are standard weapons for soldiers in the lands between. They made it possible to respond to a ferocious foe with an equally ferocious counterattack. So counterattacks unique to thrusting weapons. Interesting. So I'm guessing that's like if you wanted to run like a tower shield and spear build. I don't know how popular those are. Ah! It's a popular enemy type. But, yeah, alright. Need to drop down here now. I don't know if there's a safer way to go. But, this is the Patrick way. Try here. Try here. Try jumping. Wee, just for you. Okay, yeah, so I was gonna say, at a certain point in this cave, the enemies get replaced from, they're no longer demi-humans. We've got, crystal snails in here. And I mean, I'm sure there's lore with the crystal snails. I'm guessing it's, I don't know, some bastardization of glintstone. Maybe the crystal cave moss has something to say about it. Not really. Just it's laced with crystals and it has medicinal properties. I was gonna say maybe like crystal, so the crystals often are associated with intelligence and like glintstones. Just these like rocks that are sort of, or crystals that are sort of cool looking and are, I don't know, again, just representative of intelligence and that sort of stuff. So I'm guessing that's kind of what's going on here, though I'm not really sure. Glintstones are kind of their own thing because they're kind of tied to like a cosmic being of sorts. There are a lot of cosmic beings that we'll get into later in this game, but oh my god, I might die. No, we're fine. Yeah, maybe the smart move would have just been to go here. Alright. Bloodhound Knight. We fought one of these before. It's similar to the Bloodhound Knight Darrowell that we fought with Blight. But I want my guy here just so I have a little bit of buffer the Vampire Slayer. Yeah, these guys, I mean, they don't have a ton of health. All right, yeah, look at me. Let my Skelly boy come back to life. I got you. All right, so yeah, that's the thing. Even though he drained my skeleton's health, he can come back to life. But he's gonna disappear now anyways, because we killed the boss. Cerulean crystal, or cerulean amber melon. The earth tree's old sap becomes amber, treasured as the most precious of jewels in the age of Godfrey, the first Elden Lord. A primordial life energy resides inside, rather. Yeah, so Godfrey, we'll talk more about it, but he's got some more ties to like the Crucible and like primordial life, or like like the primordial aspect of the Erd Tree, that sort of gets shunned later the by Radigan and the later aspects of the Golden Order. But now we find this lady chilling with this wolf here.
Fell tarnished. What do you want? I told the all-hearing brute that I possess no such medallion. Or have you come to take more from me? Was my other half not enough?
So, she's referring to Gideon. She's basically saying, so what's happening is Gideon has already been here and said, where's the other half of this medallion that we got from Albus? I think we read the lore about it, but it's the Halig Tree medallion. That is sort of it's a representation, I don't want to say of the afterlife for the Albinarchs, but none of the Albinarchs actually make it to the Halig Tree, so it kind of is in a way. But it's this sort of ideal that they're always reaching towards because they're shunned. It seems like okay, so not only are there first and second generation Albinarchs, there seems to be a distinction between male and female first generation Albinarchs. Latenna here, that's this lady's name. She's a female, obviously. She's a first generation Albinarch. Her legs don't work. But unlike with Albus, who seemed to fade away when his legs stopped working, she is still able to live on. And the female Albinarchs that we meet later on are way more agile. They'll be shooting bows and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyways, Albus, the Albinarch that we met earlier, was basically protecting this medallion in the hopes that we could find Latenna and show it to her.
Do you speak true? So old Albus entrusted his medallion to you. Then I've no choice but to trust that this was his dying will. Let's try again. I'm Latenna, an Albinoric, the same as old Albus. My apologies for my coarse words earlier. I presume the worst. Seeing that you're another tarnished like that all-hearing brute,
I hope that you will forgive me.
Yeah, that's cool. Can't really trust anyone nowadays, am I right?
The medallion's better off in your hands anyway. Would you consider doing me a great service? I must go back. There is something I must do, even if I must say farewell to my wolf Lobo. Will you show me the way? To the land of Mikkela's Halig tree. If you accept, I would gladly apprise you of the whereabouts of the medallion's other half.
So yeah, she's basically asking us the half of the medallion that we got is essentially it's a way to access Mikkela's Halig tree, and the Halig tree is a concept that is, I mean, we're gonna hear bits and pieces about it. It's kind of an alternative to the Elden Ring, or the Elden Ring, the Ur tree. It's much more accepting, seemingly, than the Ur tree. The Ur tree has a lot of like, oh well, if if you're part of those who live in death, then we don't like you, and if you're part of the Crucible, then we don't like you, and um, the Halig tree seems to be much more accepting. Um, and it's why a lot of the Albinorics sort of look up to it, because it makes more sense, like as a thing of worship, than the Ur tree does, because the Ur tree doesn't accept the Albinorics because they're not, I don't know, they're outside of grace or whatever. Um, anyways, that's the spiel. Let's listen to her.
Thank you kindly. They say the other half of the medallion is beyond the Forbidden Lands, north of the Erdtree, in Castle Sol, on the mountain tops of the Giants, accessible by the Grand Lift of Rold.
Okay.
Then I suppose it's time. Farewell, Lobo. My faithful wolf. My better half. I will go with the Tarnished, so that our journey will not have been in vain. Forgive me, Lobo.
So she disappears, and we get the spirit ashes of Lieutenant the Albinaric.
And I will fight at your side.
Yes, we can read maybe a little bit more about her. She is one of the legendary ashes, a rare case of one who chose to become a spirit voluntarily. Lieutenant was renowned as a deft magic archer, but having lost her beloved wolf companion Lobo, she cannot move from the place where she was summoned. So yeah, that's kind of the thing. Even though Albanoric women seem to stay alive when they lose the use of their legs, they rely on these wolf companions. So when one of their wolf companions die, they're kind of screwed. Um, Regardless, I'm actually gonna head. Yo, did I not? I don't think I got that one bonfire down here, so I'm gonna go grab that real quick. Okay, I completely forgot about getting this side of grace. I have a bad habit of doing that on this playthrough, apparently. Also, something that I'm gonna do, even though it's very minor, is use this Baldachin's Blessing, so that I can get my tiny bit of health back. There is a bit of the never eat soggy waffle west side of the of Liurnia here that we haven't gotten to. It's this little aspect, this little jutting out area, whatever you want to call it. First things first, there's a Everjail here, but I'm not going to deal with that yet. We'll probably come back and deal with a lot of the Everjails in a later episode, but I mean, maybe not with that one. I'm actually not sure about that one, but a lot of the Everjails are enemies that are a little bit harder than what you're going to be fighting right now, which is probably not the end of the world, but whatever. Alright, so we got these guys here. These are not demi-humans, but I forget what they are, and I'm dead. Oh, not quite. Oh, they're little like bandit dudes. I think they might be the same like highwaymen that. No, they're not though. I was gonna say they might be the same highwaymen that were hanging out where Patches was, but I don't think that's correct either. Oh, Vulgar Militia. There we go. We'll learn more about them here in a second once I finish off that one. Freshly singed battlegrounds, effusing with the stench of dead. Forbidden lands that will be excised from the memory of history. This is where the vulgar militia serve, as untiring, unsung watchkeepers. Okay, that is not very much to go on. That's like, it's like the motto of the vulgar militia as written by the vulgar militia. It wasn't very helpful as to determining what their actual goal was. There's more of them here though. I guess they're just, I kind of just see them as bandits. They're bandits that are in possession of some nice weapons, and that's that. But if you want to look where we're at now, oh, maybe, did I? Oh, no. Okay. Maybe there wasn't. Yeah, okay. I'm just like completely ignoring it. The Slumbering Wolf, or the Crystal Cave, rather, is close by. There is this camp, though. This is not the last that we'll see of these fire-based enemies. These guys are more, I mean, there are a decent amount of fire-based enemies in these games, but these ones are more, in line with the Golden Order. Basically, the Golden Order sees the burning of the Erdtree as inevitable, but at the same time, they also banish those that see the burning of the Erdtree. We talked about that a little bit with, I always forget his fucking name. The guy who teaches miracles in the Round Table Hold. I think it's sort of implied that he foresaw the burning of the Erdtree, and that's why he was banished, and that's why he's kind of on this journey that he's on. But there are also these fire monks, which are kind of charged with protecting the fire, and maybe this book will do a better job explaining than I could. Prayer Book of the Fire Monks who came from the mountaintops of the giants far to the north. Not really. Okay. Maybe the spells that they give can give more lore, but there's not really a ton there. Alright. We are making good progress here in Liurnia. Probably in the next episode we'll take on Rhea Lucaria, and then the Academy after we'll finish up whatever's left, but I'm talking like we're finishing up this episode, but we're not yet. We still got a ways to go, I think. At least probably 20 more minutes. I'm gonna take a look at these locations that I've marked, and then we'll go from there. Ow! Don't die! Don't die! Don't die! Don't die! Don't die! Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. I always forget about coming to this site of grace from this direction, but there is a site of grace here. I occasionally come here if I come from either Patch's Isle here or like maybe this isle, or they're not, it's not an island, but where Blackguard is. But there's a spot there, so something to remember. This place is surrounded by giant prawns, and I've already been here, so that's nice. As I've mentioned before, these giant lobstery prawn guys have an attack that can like snipe you from halfway across the world. I mean, not really, but that's kind of how it feels sometimes. So be careful when investigating them. Now, on this island, though, we can meet a familiar face, although I'm in trouble here. Hopefully not really, but it's Vare. We met him right at the very beginning of the game.
Ah, there you are. You claimed a great room and had your audience with the two fingers at the round table hole. What was your impression?
I'm not gonna lie, they did seem a little weird.
Aha, your intuition serves you well. My doubts had been piling up, you see. The words of the two fingers cannot be trusted. Truly, naught but rambling, senile delusions. I believe that when the Elden Ring was shattered, the two fingers were corrupted, their guidance skewed. Even worse, the fingers harbor no love for our kind. That's the part that irks the most.
I like Vare as a character because I think that he is very smart in how he tries to manipulate you. He doesn't just like straight up tell you like, they're bad and you shouldn't trust them. He kind of lets you come to your own conclusion like, yeah, they're kind of a little weird. You don't really know exactly what's weird about them, but it's like they're like these weird like I always kind of imagine them as like roots of the Earth tree. I know that's probably not exactly what they are, but because I don't know, it wouldn't make sense that they would be at the top of the Divine Towers if they were that way. But I always kind of imagine that they're kind of like manifestations of the Erd Tree, and they're weird. Like you look at them and they're weird. Um, so I, I like how he lets you come to your own conclusion about like yeah they're kind of weird, and then as soon as you make that conclusion yourself, that's when he's like, oh yeah, see, this is what I'm thinking. He's very smart and very manipulative.
Oh, I have a gift for you. Something fit only for the wise.
He gives us festering bloody fingers,
A
5
means
of them.
circumventing the draw of the two fingers. Give it a try, won't you? And if it please you, may we meet again. I've high hopes for you, my lambkin.
He also appeals to me because he calls us his lambkin, and if you watch my Animal Crossing series, you know, but that was my high school mascot. We were the baby lambs. But yeah, so he gives us these festering bloody fingers, which are actually multiplayer items, and I think it's kind of interesting how he does this. I guess they'd be in tools, which is the first tab. Um, yeah, here they are. Attempts an invasion of another player's world. If successful, you arrive as an invader, Bloody Finger, with the objective of defeating the host of fingers of that world. The furled finger is blackened with bloody congestion. It seems to have been chopped off rather unceremoniously. So we can use this. It'll ask us if we want to look for near or both near and far. Near and far, near basically means it will only look like in the area of Liurnia, basically within your current multiplayer boundary, I believe. Near and far just means it will try and look basically wherever. It might be limited to where you've been already, because I guess they probably wouldn't want to spoil the game. Um, but I'm gonna try and do this because there is actually a reward. You don't need to actually to win the invasion, but if you get in with the invasion, there's a reward that he gives you. It's actually how you progress his quest line, which I imagine probably in like 5 years from now, people are gonna be like, "Oh, it's stupid that Kale's quest line is tied behind multiplayer stuff." But for the time being, that's kind of cool. We fought that guy here. This is the I don't know. Yeah, they call it the Rose Church. There isn't actually a site of grace here, which if you think about it, actually makes sense because the sites of grace are meant to be, again, like places where the Erd Tree's energy is kind of like strong. And this is not one of those areas. This is actually an area where sort of a different. If you want to think about the Erd Tree as like a like a basically a god, this is sort of an area where a different god's presence is being felt, as you can maybe tell by the giant. I mean, I don't even know what this is supposed to be. Like fleshy, bloody growths here. Not really sure. Um, so even though it might be annoying gameplay-wise that there's not a Site of Grace here, it makes sense thematically. Alright, I might be struggling to find places. It's not a big deal if we can't find any. See here. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I already accepted that, but well, maybe. You don't have to do that on a per character basis, do you? I don't think you need to. I'm pretty sure I already did that. Regardless, not a big deal. I am recording this somewhat late at night, not super late, but if we get an invasion, great. If not, not a big deal. Essentially, though, in order to progress Vari's quest line, you need to get 3 invasions going. There's a spirit here that I don't think I talked to. What do you say? Oh, do I have to get off my dang horse? Ah, the poor fellow gone perfectly mad. Love, revenge, the frenzied flame melts it all away. Oh yeah, because we're by the Revenger's shack. So I'm not sure if that's expressly talking about Edgar, or someone, maybe. Oh wait, no, because that is Edgar's corpse right here, isn't it? No, it's just a misbegotten corpse. Never mind. Well, yeah, I'm not sure if that's talking exactly about Edgar, or if it's just, sort of someone that is, I mean, time is a flat circle in these games. History repeats itself frequently. So it could be someone that sort of followed the same path of Edgar, or rather that Edgar was following the same path of, I think is probably more likely. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's a mystery. Something tells me we're not going to get an invasion, but that's okay. Alright, so I'm coming over here. There is a dragon here that we'll try and fight it, why not? But the important thing that you get is not that dragon wound grease, is actually the Academy Glintstone key. That is going to be how you get access to the Academy of Raya Lucaria. It'll be just my luck if I get an invasion while I'm fighting this dragon. If we looked at the meeting place map from earlier, it would have shown us kind of this area on the map. You kind of have to put 2 and 2 together and figure out where exactly on the map it's supposed to be, but it's here. And again, definitely do not need to fight the dragon. Fighting the dragon is optional, but I figured why not. I'd give it a go while we're over here. I mean, we're not doing a ton of damage to it, but we're also not doing bad damage to it. That's sort of the advantage of using a greatsword. I did fight this dragon at the same point here on my practice character, and it seemed like it was taking a lot longer, but I'm also using just a regular straight sword on that character, which is just a it's like a default like one-handed sword. So it's like using the Master Sword versus the Vigoron Sword, for lack of a better comparison. I'm not going to be able to get to that side. Hopefully I can do enough damage to the head here. I cannot. Alright, barring something really weird from happening, I think we got it. Alright. another dragon down. As with the last one, we get a dragon heart. We also get a message that a new draconic power is available at the Cathedral of Dragon Communion. That is not to be confused with this place, the Church of Dragon Communion. There are only ever, I believe, 3 powers that you can get here. You might be able to get another one from killing Agheel, but said that very distinctly Agheel, but you might be able to get another one from killing him. I'm not sure, but the Cathedral of Dragon Communion is actually over here in Caelid. I was gonna call this Limgrave, but that is not what it's called. It's actually not too far away from the Bestial Sanctum. This place is actually called, this area of the map is actually called Grail's Dragon Barrow. So you might be able to tell that there's some influence with dragons there, but yeah. Anyways, with that, I'm trying to think. Man, yeah, I think we might just head to. Well, maybe we can head up here. We'll head up here and then we'll head over here, and that'll be the episode, I think. Because I don't want to make it too short, but I don't want to keep it going too long either. Oh yeah, and up here is a site of grace that I always forget about. So if you're struggling with fighting the dragon and you're really determined, even though you don't need to fight the dragon ever or right now, um, well there's a site of grace right there, and I don't know what's here, so I'm gonna pick it up. Wow, that's 3 smithing stone 3s. That's pretty good actually. That's very good for this point in the game. But the place I'm heading to is actually, it's similar to another place that we've been. It was a place on the Weeping Peninsula that was, I believe, called like Ordesa's Rise or Ordesa's Rise or however you pronounce it. This is another rise. Whoa, with a lot of rocks out in front of it. Again, as with the last one, we are charged with finding 3 wise beasts. And yeah, this time there are zombies that come up. There's one here. I think I might actually remember where all 3 of them are here. If not, I bet I could find them, given just a little bit of determination. I actually think that there's one up here that's, yeah, it's a little weird. If you have some sort of ranged weapon, it's not too bad, but it's kind of, I mean, at this point in the game, you probably have some sort of ranged weapon. Why can I not call my... Oh, I'm actually invading another world. That's why. Oh boy, here we go. I don't invade people. I honestly, I kind of hate invasions. I think in this game they're a little bit more fair because you, I believe in order to invade people, they either need to actively call invaders to their world, or there needs to be uh, another player. Oh yeah, I can't call my horse. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'll try. I'm not gonna, normally I just finger sever out of here, but, um, oh boy, he's trying to screw with me. So there is something that appears on the radar that this is actually an area that we haven't been to yet, so it's sort of spoilers. I mean, it's not really spoilers, but there's something that appears on your radar. It's that little golden mark that appears there. So it'll appear when you're sort of close, or when you're far away rather from the host, and then it'll disappear when you're within a certain range. And there they are. Oops. Where's the hay one? No, that's not the emote I wanted to do. Wow, y'all are really good. Look at him fucking chug. Pussy. Alright, whatever. That's generally how invasions go. Alright, unfortunately, when you die on an invasion, you do drop your souls wherever you died, so I guess I say unfortunately. It's actually fortunate that it was close by. It's unfortunate that I was a little bit far away. I'm not going to try and do another invasion right now. You do only need to do 3 total for Vari's quest line, so, and again, it doesn't matter win or lose. Most of the time I just finger sever out, because I really care about fucking with other people. I just want, and most of the time it's not even fucking with other people, it's just people that are actively inviting invaders to get ganked in their world. Like with the last invader, but that's okay. It is very satisfying. Having been on the other side, it is very satisfying to give an invader a gank. Even if I was just trying to bring jolliment and merriment. Jolliness. Jollitude. Whatever. Alright, do I need to, oh, well, maybe I need to read the book first. Back to hunting turtles, though. Okay, it actually didn't make me go after the last 2 turtles that I already got. So that was nice. But with that, the seal lifts here. This is test 2's rise. What's the guy from Breath of the Wild, the Korok guy that increases your inventory space? It's something like Hetsu. That's what it is. Hetsu. I don't know why I was thinking it was Testu or something like that, but another memory stone. Again, not super, oh my gosh, not super important to my build, at least not right now. I generally only stick with like 3 or 4 miracles tops because, I mean, even though it is possible to get like, you know, like 7, 8, 9 slots if you really want to by the end of the game, to me, it's a lot to scroll through. I mean, there are some, at least in Dark Souls 3. I don't know that there are in this game. I would assume there are in this game. There are certain spells that actually take up numerous slots when you try and attune them. So that could be a potential for wanting to get more memory slots, but most of the time my builds do not need a ton of them. They are nice though if you don't feel like leveling up mind, though I normally level up mind a little bit for a lot of my builds just because it is nice to have higher level spirits. Wow, I couldn't see this guy actually through the rain and the fog here, but there's another mausoleum walking around over here. I don't see any rocks on the feet. Makes it a little hard to... Oh, you know what? This one, because there are no rocks at the feet, this one might actually This one might want you to jump on it from above, weird as that sounds. But yeah, I mean, normally there's a good amount of stones on each of the feet, and I'm not seeing any on any of the feet there, so I'm gonna assume it wants you to jump from above. Maybe we'll get that one later, but for now, what we're looking for is the, whenever you see like a spot on the map like this, it means there's a, like a mine sort of thing. There's one there, there's one back in the Limgrave over here, there's one over in the other place over here. So, yeah. If you're short on smithing stones, these are the places, rather, to come. Though I don't think I think we're actually doing okay on smithing stones right now. Ooh, okay. Ray Lucaria Crystal Tunnel. Okie dokie then. Touch the Lost Grace there. What have we got? Alright, more miners here. I think there's gonna be more of a focus on the elemental stuff with these miners though. Chest. Okie dokie, what else we got? Oh yeah, that's this tunnel. Alright, so this is actually a decently, as far as tunnels in this game go, this one's decently long, but it does have a shortcut in it, so worry not. Wow, I actually feel like I'm doing a lot of damage for this point in the game. Like, I'm making short work of a lot of these guys. And I haven't even, like, grinded or anything. I feel like I'm at a normal level for this point in the game. It's just what happens when you put points into Faith. Faith is... I mean, I don't want to say it's one of the most broken builds in the game, but it's one of the most broken builds in the game. Find a weapon that works for you. I mean, I'm probably not going to do this, you know, Sacred Blade Greatsword for the entire game. I think I'm going to find something at some point that I like better, but, I mean, for right now, it's kicking ass. And I don't have an alternative right now, so might as well. There might be more. There's smithing stones, rather. Crystal stones, I was gonna say. Give me that. Give me that stone. I really don't need these. What am I at? +8. I'm sure I have probably way more than 6 smithing stones right now. I got 9, yeah. Smithing stone 3s, I should say. I think if you drop off at that platform, it takes you to a somber smithing stone. Do I need it? I want to say it's a somber smithing stone too, so I'm going to say no. But I might be wrong. However, I'm going to bank on the fact that by the time, if I ever need somber smithing stones, I will already have another somber smithing stone 3, if that potentially is what it is. Alright, it's kind of a neat little detail, but you can actually look down into the boss arena there and see what is there. However, we have a ways to go before we're there. Schmitting stone. Ah, I almost missed you. Alright, so this is the shortcut here. I'm not going to take it up, but it takes us back to basically where the cave first turned blue. I don't really have a better way of describing it than that, but where we first entered the crystal part of the crystal cave. Here we start getting some marionette enemies. We've dealt with these guys before, but I just still don't like them. Alright, this room's 3 smithing stone 1s and a smithing stone 2. I'm way past that, my guy. Alright, what you got? Nothing. You ain't got nothing. Ow. Ow. I didn't even see you. What's in the chest? Crystal knife. Can I read the lore on that? Used as a tool to extract glintstone from broken rock, and as such, faint magic enwreaths the blade. You know what else enwreaths the blade? I was gonna try and make some sort of like Christmas wreath joke, but that joke died in my brain before it could come out of my mouth. And that's okay. Sometimes that's okay. I'm just taking out enemies. Doing their... Wow, I have 31,000 runes. We're gonna be leveling up a good amount here. Whoa! You were eager to die. Shatter Earth. I'm like a lore junkie on this playthrough. I want to look at everything. Imbues the ferrule of the caster's staff with magic, then thrust it into the ground to create a powerful to create a magical shockwave. A stone digger sorcery used by glintstone miners of the Crystal Tunnel. At the Academy, use of this sorcery was a stigma that marked out failed scholars. So I think that's kind of the idea, is that even though you have some magical talent, you might not be enough magic for the Raya Lucaria scholars. They're kind of stuck up little bastards, if you ask me. All right, what's this? Oh, there you go. Now I don't need to worry about getting that other one, unless I want 2 of whatever weapon I want. I do have a weapon in mind, but again, as I said, I'm not really too worried because I'm doing a good amount of damage right now. Alright, but this, I don't have enough to summon my thing. I'm not going to worry about it. This is a Crystallarian. Crystallarians are going to be really tough. And by that, I mean they're not going to take any sort of stagger damage from you whatsoever. So you have to really time out your attacks well. They also have some ranged attacks like that. Oh, nice going, dumbass. And I'm dead. Oh, no way. There's not a fucking... There's not a site of... or America statue down there? What the hell? I guess that's why they have the shortcut. Okay, well... I guess I can show that off then. Most of these bosses have a America statue by them. Don't you do it. You're a prick. Okay, yeah, most of the bosses in these tunnels have America's statue by them, but apparently this one doesn't. I am doing the thing that all good Souls players do, and it's running past all the enemies. Because let's face it, I'm not going to fight all these guys again. It's a waste of time, and effort, and everything else in between. Whoa! He scared me though. I'll give him that, he scared me. I'm gonna actually send this back up next time so I don't have to... I'm saying next time like I'm gonna die again. That's obviously not gonna happen. Is there seriously not a America statue here, Dell? That's kind of crazy. I guess they figured because they give you the shortcut. But it's not like it's that close. Alright, whatever, fuck it. Skeleton's time. Or rather, skeleton time. Ah! Ah! Give me my souls back. Definitely don't want to lose those. Yeah, give him skeleton. Alright. Charged power attacks in particular are your friend, because now he's all shattered and he's a lot weaker and he can be staggered. Little prick. I said prick twice in like a minute, but it's whatever. I got him. He gives us the Smithing Stone Miner's Bell Bearing 1. Essentially, if you give that to the Twin Maiden Husks in the Round Table Hold, definitely wasn't going to say Firelink Shrine. If you give that to the Twin Maiden Husks, that will allow you to buy, I believe, Smithing Stone 1 and 2s, and I think maybe Somber Smithing Stones as well. I bet it will even tell us if I look at it. Um, yep. So, Smithing Stone 1 and 2 and Glintstone craps. But yeah. With that, I think I'm gonna head to this bonfire so that I know what I'm doing when I start the next recording. I'm gonna take a little resty right here and level up. I got, oh wow, only 2 levels. Close to a third though. We'll probably get that pretty quickly in the next episode. I'm trying to think. It's always good to have more health. I'm doing a good amount of damage right now. Yeah, let's do health. I like having health. Alright. So yeah, next time on Elden Ring, since we got the, I guess I could maybe look at that, the Glintstone Academy key, or the Academy Glintstone key maybe, we can get into the Academy of Rhea Lucaria. Glintstone key will remember its user, meaning once used it can never be passed on to another. The Academy does not welcome the indolent? This game's got so many words in it. Alright. But yeah, that's gonna be that for this episode. Next time we'll head inside the actual academy. We'll take on that stuff. Depending on how long that takes, we might do some other stuff to wrap up. I say wrap up. We probably still got another episode or 2 of Liurnia because we still have to do. There's a big chunk over here that we still have to do. We got to take care of this area up here. There's this area, which is also sort of connected to this area. I mean, it's just a whole lot. Oh yeah, there's also some underground areas. There's that one there. There's also another one back over here. There's just, this game is fucking huge, and I don't know what order I'm gonna do everything in, but right now I'm just trying to figure out Liurnia. Regardless, though, thanks everybody for watching. It does genuinely mean a lot with the support. I mean, I know it probably doesn't seem like maybe a whole lot to a lot of people, but I genuinely I started doing these kind of videos for me, so it's nice that other people enjoy them too. But anyways, thanks to everybody for watching, and in the next episode we will be taking on Rhea Lucaria. Alright, see ya.